What's good, y'all? So like I said, I was going to do this video. So I'm about to watch the most irritating patients
of my 600-pound life.
I did see some irritating
Patience though. I used to watch this show a little bit. I used to watch it like low-key
on YouTube.
for me. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna get bad. I feel like I'm gonna get irritated. I already know I'm about to get irritated. But I hope y'all enjoy this video for me. Really hope y'all enjoy it. Like the video for me. Know what I'm saying? Subscribe for me. Comment. Do all that nice stuff for me. And without no further ado, I'm gonna get into this video. No cap, no kizzy. Yeah.
The opportunity to go through a drastic weight loss on my 600-pound life is definitely a great privilege for many.
For sure.
Dr. Now is an expert in weight loss and diet planning.
However, Dr. Now's the GOAT, man. My voice. Dr. Now's the GOAT. He is the absolute GOAT.
Some of the guests on the show just aren't as grateful as others. From cheating on their diet plan to being just flat out rude to the show hosts, we are going to take a look at the most ignorant patients to ever appear on TLC's My 600-Pound Life. Be sure to watch this entire video, as you won't want to miss out on these crazy contestants. Also, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to never miss a single upload. That being said, let's get right into the list. James King. When he arrived on the show, James King weighed in at a whopping 790 pounds. At the time, he was actually the heaviest person to ever be featured on the show. He also had a severe case of cellulitis, a painful skin infection. Additionally, King's family had made some huge sacrifices for him, including his daughter dropping out of school to care for him, and his father refinancing his home to get him to Houston. Now, James was someone who was very delusional about his current state, and it didn't really help out that his wife supported this from James. In fact, his wife would bring James high-calorie foods that he requested while he was in the hospital with Dr. Now for his weight loss plan. She was sneaking the food in behind Dr. Now's back. While he was in the hospital, James kept gaining...
Bruh, she letting it happen. She just as bad as him. Simple. Maybe even worse, because she know he overweight. And he could die. Like, she know this. That's terrible, man. That's terrible.
Weight very, very fast. Instead of losing weight, King actually weighed in at 840 pounds.
Dang.
Dr. Now stepped in as he knew what was going on, and even told James and his wife that he knew she was sneaking in food for him while James was in the hospital bed. Of course, James tried to play this off and even cussed out Dr. Now, stating that he had no idea why he was gaining so much weight. Eventually, Dr. Now told him to leave if he wasn't willing to adhere to the program. Well, in his follow-up episode, things had not improved.
Presents Addition Below 10. Okay, class, let's begin.
I hate people like this that act clueless when you put something in their like.
Recently, about a month ago, James King unfortunately passed away, and while an exact cause of death wasn't revealed, King had a history of health issues, which may have contributed to his passing. And we can surely say that King's weight gains were not helpful in his case at all.
For sure wasn't.
While it's definitely a sad loss, we can't say that James was the nicest and most compromising guest on the show, as he was rude as could be. Janine Mueller. Janine's time on My 600-Pound Life was definitely crazy. Between her arguing with Dr. Now and the fact that she continued to munch on fast food all day, her episodes definitely had some memorable moments. For example, she even went through a drive-thru on her motorized scooter to order a tiny-piece chicken nugget meal. Dr. Now's
she's a thug.
Original plan was for Janine to try and lose a pound every day. But as she began, she was only losing...
They're not trying to get our money to McDonald's. I know y'all see them blur out that McDonald's sign. They're not trying to get no money from
about a pound a week. But Dr. Now really started losing faith in Janine when she told Dr. Now that she didn't even want to eat. Obviously, Dr. Now knew this wasn't true, as you'd expect this to be a good problem, not bad for her. Although Janine was pretty ignorant and rude to Dr. Now, and didn't follow his advice well, she ended up, somehow, losing 120 pounds, which is crazy. But either way, she was not one of the most charming people to appear on the show, so we have to give Janine a spot on this list today. Schnee Murray. When viewers first met Schnee Murray on My 600-Pound Life, she was deeply sad about suffering through 2 miscarriages, and her story was definitely one that had people feeling bad for her. That experience can be extremely traumatic to not just the person who endures one, but her partner as well. Like many people on the show, Schnee started to gain drastic amounts of weight after she was sexually abused by her cousin at a young age. She turned to food as a way to comfort during these dark times. But there was hope, as Murray went to Dr. Now to help her get both her life and her weight back under control. But
hey, check this out.
3 days ago, I closed on my first client, a local realtor, and...
But alas, she was unwilling and unable to stop compulsively overeating. And as you all can guess, this did not turn out too well. Despite her claims of gaining water weight...
Stop the cap! Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap! No bullshit, bro!
Dr. Now pointed out was clearly not the case. Murray was never approved for weight loss surgery. Schnee continued to go against what Dr. Now said, eating countless foods and junk as she continued to gain weight. Well, she eventually ended up dropping out of the show and leaving Dr. Now altogether. Penny Sager. Penny is most known as one of the most delusional guests to ever appear on My 600-Pound Life. When she was first introduced onto the show, she weighed in at an insane 570 pounds. Alongside her husband and son, Penny set out to try and find a new beginning. Sadly, though, the only person who stopped Penny from achieving her goal was, well, Penny herself. Now, somehow, she was actually able to drop enough...
I really thought he was about to say her husband.
...weight to qualify for the weight loss surgery, and she opted in for that. Now, you're probably thinking that she would have been able to keep that weight off after having a life-altering, drastic weight loss surgery. But Penny is an exception. Unfortunately, after having her weight loss surgery, Penny decided to continue to lose weight her way, and that meant ignoring the advice of Dr. Now, and completely ignoring the 1,200-calorie diet she was put on.
Can't help everybody.
I guess she thought it was over once her weight loss surgery was complete. But from someone suffering from obesity, that just isn't the case. Penny continued to eat high-calorie foods, and didn't even exercise like she was told. Her family is to blame as well, as they were enabling her to do all this. Nicole Lewis. At just 23 years of age,
Like, I know y'all see the sun just hit in my face. Whoa.
Nicole Lewis already weighed an unbelievable 680 pounds. She claims she was way too big to even take care of her own kids, despite her efforts to try and lose weight. There was even a point where she was hosed down by her husband to bathe. That's how you know things were not going well. Although she tried, Nicole only got bigger. It was time to see Dr. Now. It had gotten to the point where she not only feared for her life, but feared for her kids growing up around her. When she first arrived on the show, Nicole had trouble walking around. She had to rely on her own mother and 2 kids in order to get anywhere. She was even too big to fit through the bathroom door in her house, and had to use a portable toilet in her own room. But if that's not enough to motivate one to stop eating and gaining weight, she was caught eating a Big Mac and fries on her way to Houston to see Dr. Now. Dr. Now tried to tell her to stop and put Nicole on a very strict diet, hoping to help her lose 30 pounds for surgery. Well, Nicole definitely struggled. Amidst her and her husband's struggles to find a new job during her diet, the two resorted to eating cheeseburgers to help cope with their feelings. Well, things continued to go downhill here, and it's safe to say that this contestant did not try at all. Steve Asanti. Steve Asanti is most likely one of the most memorable guests to appear on My 600-Pound Life, mainly due to the many controversies that took place during his time on the show. Steve was a morbidly obese man from Rhode Island. He appeared on the show alongside his twin brother, who actually also needed to lose weight. However, Steve became the face of the two due to his rebellion and rudeness towards the doctors, as well as his ongoing battle with drugs. Steve suffered a huge setback on the show after he was caught trying to obtain opioids while he was on the show.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Well, he was surely kicked out of the weight loss program and forced into rehab for treatment. This would cause Steve to start gaining more weight, as he reached a whopping 750 pounds. However, despite all this, he continued to try and persuade the doctors to allow him to get weight loss surgery, and somehow he was convincing enough to do so. But overall, he was definitely one of the most rude patients to appear on the show for sure. Angela Gutierrez. When Angela was first introduced to My 600-Pound Life, it was apparent that she had been through a lot. Having lost custody of her children due to child endangerment and attempting to take her own life, Gutierrez started gaining weight from overeating to attempt to cope with her negative feelings. By the time she made the journey to Dr. Now with her ex-boyfriend, she weighed in at 608 pounds. However, what is very interesting about this case is that Angela had already undergone weight loss surgery, meaning she had an unsuccessful surgery, or she simply didn't try and gained all her weight back. But when Dr. Now charged her to lose weight by following his diet plan, Gutierrez completely failed, and didn't even bother to follow Dr. Now's advice or diet routine. So I think we can guess that she failed her first surgery and was coming back for another shot. But this time, I think she should have been a bit more prepared and motivated, because it seems she fell back into. Ellen and Vianney. Husband and wife Ellen and Vianney went on TLC's My 600-Pound Life to get some help with their weight together. They flew down to Houston and moved in 4 months after their video call with Dr. Now. Before arriving, they had promised to lose some weight, which of course they didn't. During the initial weigh-in, things didn't look good at all. However, despite their immense weights, the two were still determined to lose weight together. Although he was the heavier of the two, Alan was surprisingly more mobile than his wife, and even admitted to cheating on the diet when he went to run errands for himself and his wife. Well, this did not turn out well, as he certainly did not get away with it. During their follow-up appointment with Dr. Now,
I thought they was about to say cheating on his wife. That's what I thought was about to say. But y'all, if y'all enjoyed that, yeah. So if y'all enjoyed that video, like the video for me. Really hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll be back with another video, and bye.